Jolenta Stevens here, and I'm with Mauricio Ayon. He's the political director at Washington CAN, the Community Action Network, and he's a lobbyist here in Olympia, and he's going to talk to us about the budget process and what's going to be happening over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 months. We hope not. Who are the key players in the budget negotiations?
Hi, Jolinda. I think that sort of the key players in the budget negotiations will be chairs of the House Appropriations Committee, Representative Hunter, as well as Representative Ormsby as the vice chair, and of course the ranking Republicans in the House, Chandler and Parker, and Wilson too. Wilcox is the representative in the House, and in the Senate, of course, will be Senator Hill, Senator Brown, and Senator Honeyford, with representatives from the Democratic side, Senator Hargrove and Senator Kaiser. Looks like there might be some other folks involved in the conversation, especially from the governor's office, as well as the Speaker and the leader of the Senate Republicans, Senator Schussler.
Thank you. That's really helpful. We can kind of concentrate on those people and identify the congregations that have people in them who are who have those representatives.
And although I will say though that every single representative will have a say. And you can hear from folks from their own districts in regards to budget matters. It really makes a big difference here in Olympia.
Wonderful, thank you. So what are the potential sources of new income? We've talked about some of them last time we were together. So we want them to be more equitable. Is there any chance that we'll get some of those?
Well, I think it's sort of a two-part question, right? What are the potential sources of revenue, and whether or not the likelihood of passing. We at Washington CAN are very close, aligned with the values of UU, in the sense that we all believe that progressive revenue should be part of the way we do business in Washington State. And sort of the top four that sort of come to mind are income tax, capital gains tax, closing the corporate tax loopholes, and of course the carbon tax, that carbon and accountability towards polluters that we have heard so much about in the last I want to say the last 2 to 3 months. But what is the likelihood of this happening? It's very unlikely that any of these will be implemented in this session. However, there's a lot of things that we can be doing in our own districts or in our own congregations to be talking about revenue and what does that implement. But what does that mean in Washington State?
Wonderful. What do you have some specific suggestions?
Well, some of them could be having more of an education about what it is to, what does taxes do, right? And more importantly, what is the role of government in regards of the services that are provided to folks in the state of Washington, and with that, leading with that conversation and education, then people's perception about taxes and the role of government begin to sort of shift towards a more positive thing in regards of how they perceive that taxes is actually a good thing when properly used in the proper use of government functions, such as educating people, providing medical care, and just helping the people that need it the most.
Right. So, what bills do you think? So the deadline, the cutoff for all bills, pretty much, is this Friday. So it's the day before we're having our budget conference. So what do you think are going to make it past this deadline and onto the floor that deal with equity and with closing the gap in education.
Yeah, excellent. So there's a handful of bills that we're monitoring that continue to moving forward. One of them is the Family Unity Act. Another one is a couple of them is pay sick and minimum wage that sort of address economic justice issues, and legal financial obligations, so reforming the legal financial obligation system, the Voting Rights Act, and the expansion of the dual language.
Can you tell us a bit more about the Legal Obligations Act?
Yeah, the reforming the legal financial obligations is